You've got like...
We have casuals on Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Thursday we have tournament day in the Hero Galactic Circus.
Yeah.
On Saturday we have Deacon, which is how many times a month?
Twice or once, depending if we have Couch Warriors or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's at Deacon University. And then there's Chris Clubhouse every first and third week.
Sure.
When a Super came out, we didn't have that many people for a long time.
Yeah.
It's only near the end when we started gathering more new players and stuff like that. The guys at Shadowloo, like Ali and his brothers, right? They did really good things for making our community really strong.
Oh, cool.
Like releasing trailers, organising tournaments, stuff like that. So yeah.
So I mean,
that's why we got a strong scene.
Nice. This needs to pop them up. Oh! BAM, is that like your other major kind of?
Yeah, BAM was the original major for Melbourne. It was organised by the Couch Warriors guys.
Yeah.
And it's more of an Australian type event. Like there's not no real international players invited or anything. Shadowloo Showdown was we approached it differently. We wanted to give people a chance in Australia to play against these guys who they may never play against.
Yeah, true.
So that's what we did. Like first year we invited 3 Taquito, Gamer B and Margot. This year we kind of went a little overboard. I don't know if we're going to have this much international players next year. Next year the approach is going to be a little bit more different. More of still invite them. Probably get a few, pay for a few. But since a lot of the players are sponsored these days, it's good. It helps us.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, the sponsors send them over. All we got to do is have something that entices them to come. So next year what we're probably focusing on is more of the sponsorship. Use it as winnings.
Yeah.
So it's a bigger prize.
Yeah.
That way the prize will make people want to come. Plus, of course, Australia. Like the reason the Taquito and Gamer B and all that wanted to come back, I think was probably
Melbourne's a great city.
Yeah. Well, how they were treated. I think they had a lot of fun. So that's what we like to do. We like to make sure that anyone who comes over, interstate or international, that they have a really good time in Melbourne and let others know about it and want to come back. You don't want to treat them like shit. Bring him here. You play in this tournament, and then right after the tournament, we're taking you to the airport to to leave. It's pretty hectic in Melbourne. Like right now, we have an event at least one every week, but it's good because a lot of the events, like it might not have the same people. Like some of them are on the west side, some of them are on the east side. So people that can't go to the east side events will go to the west side events. It's good to have a variety. We try to go to all of them just to cover it. Plus, keep stats of the players. Players seem to like stats of their.
Are they winnings and stuff?
Yeah, because it keeps win-loss, who you beat, who you lost to, what characters you used. I think that makes people want to keep competing.
Cool.
So that's one of the features in Melbourne that's not really around. A lot of people wanted to do something like Shadowloo. Everyone was talking about it, but no one actually decided to do it.
Yeah.
And then my brothers basically came up to me and be like, let's organize an event. And they're like, when do you want it? Next year? Like they came up to me in October. And they're like, no, sometime in November. I'm like, you want to organize an event?
Like 1 month away.
In 1 month. An event that takes like 6 months to do. And they're like, yeah, you can do it. And then I was like, all right, you know what? Let's go. Let's just see what happens. And then we put the word out there. And we let others know about it, other states, and a lot of people, didn't take us very seriously. They're like, you really want to do this sort of thing? These players aren't going to come. I doubt you guys are going to be able to raise the funds, but the Melbourne community is also one. A lot of the players stepped up, especially one guy, Spider Carnage. He really stepped up and he helped us out, and a few others. Of course, Pyro, part of the Shadowloo team, stepped up. The Melbourne community as a whole, everyone was chipping in when they could, and they really wanted to see this happen because if they knew if this succeeded, then it's going to be more than like an annual event. So lucky for us, we managed to do it in a month. I don't know how. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of the internationals enjoyed it. They're looking forward to coming back. I just want people to know that Melbourne 2012 is going to be racing.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
should be there. Everyone should be, you know, booking flights now.
We played a little bit in the arcade before console, vanilla came out.
Yeah.
Not very good. Like, it's so hard to practice when it's one game and you're sort of freaking out and these guys are beating down on you. So when console came out, there was like you practice, you go to local events, and that's sort of like where it started. That's even how like we got into like Shadowloo stuff. We just started playing that game, and like Dave Justice, Bosslogic.
Bosslogic, yeah.
He's always been a big fan of fighting games. And sort of like, I used to be a FPS player, and he'd go to me, oh, this game's shit, I'll beat you in a fighting game. I can't take that. Like, I can't take it. If someone goes, I'll beat you in this, I have to at least
like
have it a go, right? I have to give it a go. We're playing on like those, you know those Mad Cat pads? Yeah, we played on a Dreamcast on a PS2 controller converted. That's how hardcore we were.
And his ghost may be heard as you pass by that billabong. You'll come a waltzing Matilda with me. Oh, you'll come a waltzing Matilda with me.
How many of you guys have Mortal Kombat? Like, seriously? Is it illegal to own?
Yes.
So none of us have played that game.
None of you have.
Well, I really haven't.
He's the best
he just
Mortal Kombat in Melbourne.
He just fucking self arrested. They're so mean.
I'll go first in the imaginary tournament.
No. They're like, oh look, we'll put you through to customs, you know, and see what they say.
Don't put you through the customs.
And I'm thinking, oh shit, you know, we'll see. They go, so I'm speaking to the guy, and he says to me, oh, you know, what is it? And I'm like, oh, it's a DVD, you know. And he's like, where's it coming from? I'm like, oh, Hong Kong, you know. It's like, what's in it? What DVD is it? I'm like, oh, it's a video game. He's like, what video game is it? I'm like, it's Street Fighter, you know. And he's like, oh, okay, because if it was something like Mortal Kombat, that shit would be illegal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, it's not Mortal Kombat.
You know he's going to open the bank account.
Nah, because he didn't ask me for the tracking number or nothing. He just goes, oh, if it was, you would have gotten a letter.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, all right.
With your flaps, you got the leaves. Do an ultra for once, just once. Oh, he's so close. Do an ultra for once. Yeah! No anymore. Let's do it.
Well, my first contact with the community actually is with Somniac on BSA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, you should come to tournaments. And I was like, I'm not that good. And he said that, you know, he lied to me. He said that, you have a chance. So,
Oh, that's good. That's a good compliment.
So he's actually the guy that got me to come to the tournament.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
So then I went to the tournament and met Ali, and as you know, he's so friendly and all.
Yeah, very, very welcoming guy. Yeah.
So once I met him, like, he just introduced me to everybody else, and that was it. Actually.
And what made you guys start being a Scrub podcast?
Again, it was like a kind of like a perfect storm. Like, I started on my site a while ago. In fact, I started writing seriously about it when I went to Sydney to participate in Evo APEC, and I met Daigo.
Oh, yeah.
And that kind of like, I thought that I would start writing seriously about these kind of things, and then I was keeping them out on my site, which had been there for a while. Then I met Igor, who wanted to do a podcast, and he was looking for a partner, and I just happened to be, you know, our enthusiasm kind of just merged, and we just decided to. Well, actually, I borrowed his gear, his audio gear for my transcript. I was gonna do a text interview because I'm still not that confident in my speaking ability.
Yeah, sure.
So I did my first interview with Ali in a text form, and then after that we just we just like started working together, and it became like a podcast with the transcript.
Who do you do the? It's you and who else?
It's Spider Carnage.
Spider Carnage.
Yeah. I met him at Couch Worlds. He started playing at around the end of Super Street Fighter 4. He's an old school player. He's been around for ages. He played ST.
There's kind of a good mix though, right?
Yeah. He was.
I played interviews.
Yeah. He was like he was a regional champion for ST.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because both me and Igor are like big fans of other podcasts like Alphaism Radio, Impact's original podcast. He wanted to do something like that, and it kind of like I wanted to do interviews. So I guess like what we're doing now is not really what he intended to do at the start. Yeah. But maybe in the future we'll go into more like Alphaism style radio.
Yeah.
And another big influence for me is the Dogface show. I love.
Oh yeah. I love that show. Great show. In
fact, for like the Toxie interview, we tried to get Dogface to do an intro for it because played XMen vs Street Fighter, which is what Toxie was.
Yeah, he was famous for that. Yeah.
But he was busy and we couldn't get it to go through. But he's like, when I'm thinking of like weird podcast questions, I just think of Dogface.
What would Dogface do?
What would Dogface do?
We used to have it at the fish and chip shops, at the milk bars, at the video stores. Back then, basically, the game was just fucking unreal. Like, you had big tall dude with an eye patch, right? The designated karate dude. You had Balrog, who was like Mike Tyson. So it was really cool. And basically, this guy who used to work in the shopping centre taught me how to fireball and uppercut.
Oh, nice.
Like, he would have been probably near his 30s.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he's like
Grandmaster.
Yeah, he basically said to me, if you're going to play this game and you're going to use this character, because I love Ryu, he said, if you're going to play this game and you're going to use this character, you've got to fireball with an uppercut. You've got to know how to do that. So first he taught me how to fireball, and he sort of told me, you don't want to fireball when people can jump at you.
Yeah.
And if they're going to jump, to recover an uppercut. So that was my first ever thing I learned in this game, and to this day, it's like one of the most important things. I mean, even back then, doing like a heavy punch, cancelling the heavy punch to uppercut, Toxie even and me had a laugh about this. People used to call it the triple uppercut.
Yeah, we called it with Double Dragon.
Yeah.
We called it Double Dragon because it was like one hit from the dragon, another hit, so Double Dragon.
So for us it was like the triple, because Ken's fire uppercut did the 2 hits.
Oh, yeah. You mean the championship edition did 2 hits? Yeah.
So it was like crouch heavy, uppercut, and that was the triple uppercut. When you did that, you were like Grandmaster.
Yeah.
And back then, there was this arcade called 101. And like it was a really real sort of rough place.
Yeah.
But because I knew like I was friends with a lot of people, I was just okay when I went there.
Yeah.
I never had problems, but the place got shut down because of drugs.
Oh.
So it was very fucking rough. And
sounds like.
I mean, if you threw back those days, unless you let someone do the damage to you, man, outside watch your back.
Eventually bumped into Rodney at Blue House.
Cool.
After playing him 2.5, 3 years on Kylera.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Funny story. First time I met Paul, he used to have a rat tail. Can you believe it?
Wow.
He used to have a rat tail. The first time I rocked up, I'm like, I'm Rodney. I'm like, this guy's a hardcore. He's got a rat tail. And then as soon as he started,
like Mad Max or some shit.
As soon as he started talking, I'm like, man, this guy's soft. It's alright. Before me and Rodney met everyone else, it used to be me, Rodney, and Toxie, and one other guy named Sushi that used to play at Rodney's house.
Oh, cool.
And SF4 came out, so us 4 went to Galactic Circus and they had an opening tournament.
Oh, man,
the prize was like a card, just like a $50 card, so we just entered that.
Oh, nice.
And he ended up winning.
Did I?
Yeah, he beat me.
Who was I using?
Ryu. I used Sagan and Toxie used Guile.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, he didn't know. Just shows you how old it was.
We were just pressing shit, and Rodney won, and then after that, Rodney and Toxie got more serious into it.
So what did you think when you first played it?
Wow, this game's really slow.
Yeah.
For so long, you can't jump in this game. And it was just a really slow version of ST.
Yeah.
It was a real slow, and we were like, what's this focus shit? We were pretty happy because we were like, hey, there's new people to play. Eventually we get sick of playing each other and we're like, alright, fresh meat, let's
let's go.
And then it started getting good and then we're like, fuck, this guy's too good now. No, it's good because it's built a whole new community. and it was hard because I came from keyboard and that was my first.
That's right, yeah.
That was my first stick game, so I was real fimble on stick.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had my converter that I used at Ozcedo, so I took my keyboard to Ozcedo as well, OHN.
yeah,
I took it to OHN, I came 4th in Alpha 2, so I was happy with that.
Nice.
Like 2nd in Alpha 3 or 3rd in Alpha 3.
Oh, cool.
But then I got a PS2 to PS3 converter and a keyboard to PS2 converter, so it was like 2 converters and a keyboard, and I was playing Street Fighter 4 on keyboard.
And people complain about lag, and that must have been the laggiest fucking converter ever.
It's good that it's big now, because...
Did you ever think it'd get this big?
Probably not. It used to be dead quiet.
Yeah.
There was like really good third strike tournaments.
Yeah.
When you can get close.
A lot of our good players came from overseas, like Hong Kong and Japan.
Because we're so close as well, right?
Yeah. So they come and stay here. So they stay here for so long that we consider them, Australian players.
Cool.
They hang out with us. So they're really good, and they go like to Japan. And
They come and go.
They come and go. So
Yeah.
as soon as I go overseas, I level up like a million times and come back.
Yeah. You guys used to play Color Era, which is, the people that don't know, is how you played online when broadband first came out, basically.
Yeah.
The first day I got broadband, that was the first thing I got.
Yes.
That's the same with me. I used to try on 56k.
I tried on 56k, it never worked out.
Yeah, same.
That is
same.
the only reason I'm getting broadband.
And then
Because different people had to host today. It wasn't P2P for people to know. Everything now is P2P they do. Like Xbox is P2P, GGPO is P2P, which means person to person basically. But with Color Era, it was like old school. It was like you have to go into a server in a room, and then you just have to deal with the consequences, basically. Because you could change your handle anytime you wanted, really.
Yeah. Do you remember the days of what's his name, Knackers? And he always used to take everyone else's name and used.
Oh, he was a cunt.
And he,
I remember that guy.
He always took my name.
Yeah.
And you always knew it was him because he could only play Charlie or Honda.
Yeah. I remember him. And he would just fucking charge all day. He was really bad.
Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah. So fucking calling you out, bro, if you're still alive.
Yeah.
Someone hasn't fucking stabbed you from playing like that.
I found this. About that guy. We found his MySpace page.
Yeah.
And then it turns out he went to my high school.
It is you!
No, it's not me.